loves, and welcome to another one of my tabletop TBR game where we play a game that I created to figure out what I'm going to read that month or to be read. We have made it to the 10th round of 2022 and I'm super excited. In addition to the regular game, this is also the first month for the Besties Book Club. So the Patreon Besties are going to be reading Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and we'll have a live show exclusively for patrons next month. And the channel membership Besties are going to be picking a fantasy book to read for their book club in November, which will have a live show in December. And I'm really excited to now have these book clubs. So if you're interested in joining, both links will be listed down below, along with a link to this game if you would like to play along with me. I do also play the game for my channel besties, and these are the picks that I ended up getting for this month, and they are currently voting on which one they would like me to read, and I will probably pick one of the remaining ones after as well. These will count towards the points for next month. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's get into racking up the points for September and getting into playing the game for October's picks. Okay, future me to go over the points really quickly. I usually feel like I take forever to do this, so we're trying something different. Okay, so in September, I ended up reading 22 books, which you can see here, or at least since the last round. I read 8,163 pages, so I get 8 points to use on the tracker sheet based off of that. I also ended up getting 9 game card points, 6 of them for the September game that we played together, 2 additional ones for the bestie game that I also did in September, and then 1 rollover point from August, since I'm allowing myself to complete the points months later just to kind of catch up, since there are very few ways to get points otherwise. I then also got 1 board point while we were playing the September round, which I saved until now, and I got 1 optional bonus point for rereading the 5th season. So I had a really successful month. That does mean that I ended up with 19 tracker points, and I only had 3 spaces left on this tracker. So I filled this up, which gives me 10 milestone points, and I got a good chunk into the next one since I just read so much. I did get some bonus cards, a catch a break, no punishment bonus prompt, which I can use for future rounds. And then I also got 2 ones that need to be used this round. Read a book from the current year and read a sci-fi book, which will give me bonus points. I did decide that instead of choosing this game, I'm actually going to save these and use them throughout the month. And then when we do the roundup or points next time, I'll let you know what books kind of qualified to get those points. Then adding up the 22 points, the 19 points, and the 10 milestone points, that gives me a total of 51 points for September, which is the most that I have gotten throughout this year. I think the highest one that I've gotten otherwise was 35 in April. So I will say, I think there might be a little bit of an issue with the way that the milestone points tend to really skew things. So I might try and adjust that for future rounds. If you have any ideas, I'm totally open to them because I do want to make sure that this game is constantly improving every year. So that's where we are currently at. I think now is the perfect time to get into rolling for October's picks. Okay, it is time, and I'm actually doing something new. We are going to roll with 2 dice this time. That way we can make it around more often and get the option of getting the bonus points here. And I am giving myself more ways of having to roll more. So typically we do 5 rolls. If I get a double, we have to do more. I think I'm gonna max it out at 10, maybe. But I guess we'll see. Maybe I can get more than that, who knows. So for our first roll, we got a 5 and a 1. But before we move, let's pick our bonus And we got one that's very fitting for this month. So a paranormal book, +1 point. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our first prompt is illustrated cover. Okay, so for our first pick, illustrated cover, I decided to go with Horrid by Katrina Leno. I'm a big fan of this illustration. It is very creepy and cool. This is a YA spooky paranormal-esque horror story as far as I am aware. I have heard some not so fun things about it, but hopefully it's going to be very enjoyable, and I will definitely try to vlog or at least include information in the monthly wrap-ups about it when I finally do get around to reading it. It says on the back, Jane's fingers were numb. Was she ready to admit now that she believed in ... The world was still so hard to say. It was silly and childish. It was white sheets with eye holes cut out and grainy pictures of disembodied heads and bumps in the night when you're home alone, all tucked in bed and frozen with fear. Ghosts. Yeah, so it seems like it's a ghost story. Hopefully it's gonna be a fun one. Rule number 2. So a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Prompt number 2. So we have a book with blank number of words in the title. Let's roll and see how many words. Okay, a book with 6 words in the title. For the next prompt, we got book with blank numbers of words in the title, and I ended up rolling a 6. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a spooky book, but I did get a hard-hitting contemporary romance-esque, which is Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. I actually got this as a gift for my birthday from my mom, so I'm really excited to be picking it up. This is a sapphic romance that features a Chinese-American girl in the middle of the 1950s during the Red Scare, where deportation is kind of over everybody, including those who have gained their citizenships fair and square. I believe the love interest for her is American, and they are basically just taking a really big risk at this time of being together, but I imagine this one's going to be a heavy hitter. It's won a lot of awards, but admittedly I haven't heard much about it, so I do hope I enjoy it, even though it's not quite the spooky vibes. Okay, roll number 3. A 6, 4 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This prompt is a book about books. Next up, we have a book about a book. I went searching for books that I do own to try and find something that fit. The prompt is S. I believe this is the brainchild of the movie director J.J. Abrams, and he worked with the writer Doug Doris to kind of put this love letter to writing together. It is a super fun time. The book inside is called Ship of Thesis. You have 2 people making notes basically within this book, and they are kind of having a conversation with each other almost through the notes that they're taking while reading this book. There's a ton of little extra things that are included inside, so like papers and newsletters and postcards and just full-on letters. It's just jam-packed with a bunch of interesting stuff, and I'm really excited to get around to this. I love mixed media books like this, and because it has so many of these additions to it, like I just can't, I'm gonna love this. I feel like I'm probably gonna do a full-on non-spoiler vlog of me experiencing this with maybe a spoiler vlog attached for people who are interested in learning more, because this is definitely gonna be a fun time. Okay, editing me here again. In addition to the book S, I also have House of Leaves, which is another book about books, mixed media, crazy type of story. I did actually have this as a tabletop TBR pick last year, so I still have prompt in here. This was for a reading challenge for the book club. It was for Books and Lala's book club. As you can see, I didn't finish it. I am thinking of using this as a back burner for this book about books prompt, but I'm actually hoping to complete both of them. So we'll see. I want to complete this for a vlog, and if that's the case and I'm not able to get around to that, then this will just count for that prompt. But if I can do both of them, I'll use the original prompt along with the new prompt so that I can get more points. But officially for this prompt, I'm going with S at this point. Roll number 4. So another 6, a 4 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do get a bonus point. So far we have 1 board point. And the prompt for this roll is a book published in 2021. Next up, we have a book published in 2021, and I decided to go with In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. I have seen this quite a bit, I guess last year, and was really interested in seeing what it was all about. But I feel like I had seen some conflicting feedback, and I wasn't sure if it was about this book or about another book, and I recently rewatched some reviews, and it seems like a lot of people actually really like this. I believe it's a dark academia-esque story about 6 people who went to the same school, a group of friends, and one person was murdered, and we are to believe that one of them was a part of it, and many years later during either a school reunion or something, they all come back together, and I think something happens that rehashes what went on so that they can figure out who is responsible or something like that. So I imagine this is going to be a fun dark academia mystery story with a lot of drama and just like interpersonal issues between the friend group. Possibly our final roll number 5. We got a 6 and a 3, so another 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is our first TBR jar pick since the move. All right, and for our last pick, we ended up getting the TBR jar pick. So I have filled this up with a bunch of spooky thriller books that I have on my to be read shelves, and some new books as well. So we're going to have the chance to get some bonus points from reading from my shelves, or just get some new books as a fun little prize for picking at random. So hopefully I get lucky with whatever we end up getting. Okay, looks like this one's open. You probably can't, but it is the Supernatural Enhancement by Edgar Cantero. So this is a +3 point book, and that is because, like 2 other books already on our list, it is not a book that has an audio, so I have to physically read it, and I usually don't have a lot of time for that. So this is gonna be an interesting month, that's for sure. This one says, on November the 2nd, we landed in Richmond. On the 3rd, we met the lawyer Glue. On the 4th, he's driving us in his Mercedes to our new home, about 3 miles from the center of Point Bliss. The car takes a right turn down the stem of a T. Then we travel along a gravel driveway that shoves the house deep into the estate, hiding it from the main road. The roadside crop fields have been replaced by untamed woods that might once have been gardens, but then the trees halt well before the building, respecting the vast empty court whose center sits. There's a sticker. And so I don't know what it says. WTF? Who puts a sticker there? Something house. Yeah, sounds fun. I've wanted to read this for a while. It's definitely spooky, and if I'm able to finish it this month, it is a ton of points. So hopefully reading these won't kill me. And then this time I do have a bunch of bonus points here, but I'm actually going to save them and add them to books throughout the month instead of trying to pair them with books that I ended up getting from the game. That way, more of the books that I read throughout the month can have a possibility to bring me points. And that is everything. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Consider becoming a channel member so that you can enjoy a bonus tabletop TBR game every month, and also you can join the channel membership besties for the book club tier to join us on the book club, or even the Patreon besties book club tier to join in on the book club fun. I'm really excited about all of this and really glad to have you guys around. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have a wonderful reading month, and I will catch you in the next one. Until next time, bye!